Mr. Peach.
Thank you,
See where
Joel.
you
What's
at.
going on, everyone?
What's up, my man? Let's get you pinned on here.
Let's go, my guys. Well, I know Joel said thanks for sticking in because it's kind of late over here on the East Coast, but you guys should know we don't sleep over here. If we're trying to build a team, trying to build a company, we're all here for sales. We're all here to get pumped up, come home with actionable items. We don't go to sleep around here. It's 8 p.m. Come on, bro. I'm still in the office. We're still grinding. Come on. All
Love it.
right, so we can all talk about. I know Nick and Brad had a different sales system. We can all agree that Brad is completely wrong. And if you don't present in person, we all know you don't have a company. Uh, Bonus points if you know who said that at the expo. It's a little inside joke. But all right, guys. So let's get cracking, guys. It's only 8 p.m. Joel put 8 o'clock to 9:40 on my calendar, so I guess I got an hour and 40 minutes here. I hope you guys got some time, got some Celsius, got some Red Bulls, because we're going over here. All right, I'm gonna get Sharon over here. Yeah, appreciate you having me on, Joel, and everybody else killing it over here. All right, guys, you guys see my screen good? Beautiful. So we're going to talk about scaling a sales team. Some of you guys know me, and you guys know I'm running a few sales reps over here, nothing too crazy as of now, but we got a system that we just want to shed some light to you guys. First, we're going to talk about who's Peach Painting and who I am. We'll talk about some limiting beliefs and mindset, some aggressive marketing strategies. I'm very aggressive with marketing. I don't always expect everybody to be so aggressive, to take some of that stuff with a grain of salt. And then, of course, hiring and training some sales reps. Of course, why it is so vital to think bigger. Some people want to think really small, or they want to think big, but they don't know how to think big, or they don't even want to think big. It's vital to think bigger. How did we go from 500K a year to a $9 million 2025 goal in just 3 years off of only residential projects? I want to break that down a little bit. 7 million painting, 2 million flooring is going to be our goal for 2025. And 3 years ago, we did $500,000 in the year. Intro, of course, Russell Peach. I'm the owner of Peach Painting and Peach Flooring here in Tampa, Florida. I think it's crucial that I give a lot of hats off to my beautiful children for making me the man that I am. A beautiful 1-year-old daughter and a 4-year-old son, and I am a firm believer in God. I believe everything that we do is thanks to God, and it's always something that I try to speak on because he's a core piece of my life. Now, in 2015, this was about 10 years ago. September will be 10 years. I started my business at the age of 18, was doing full home remodeling, and it was not a business I was going to be able to scale. If you're listening and if you're offering 10 different services, one, you're not going to be able to scale a sales team right away, maybe way later on. It's going to be really hard to build any systems, build your whole team out, and build out a company that way. So I found painting to be a really good niche to get into. Just one thing. Who loves to learn how to do one thing? I was doing plumbing, I was doing electrical, I was doing framing, drywall, custom bathrooms. It was frustrating. I could not figure out how to scale, but then I come to find out and I'm offering 10 different services. So I went down to commercial painting first 6 years. We're doing multifamily apartment turns, not the best work, but it was steady work and margins were okay. In the first 4 years, I was able to build the company up to 500K a year, just completely on autopilot. I was buying into other businesses, buying into real estate, had no focus, didn't know how to build my painting company. Most importantly, the reason I was doing all that other stuff is because I had no structure. I had no real systems to work with. Always wanted more. Hence why I was telling you I was buying into real estate. I was buying into other businesses because I always wanted more. Didn't think there was more out of just the painting industry. But guys, there's so much opportunity in the painting industry. Still, I'm frustrated. Didn't know how I could get past that 500K a year. Probably wondering why I'm telling you all of this. I really want to urge anybody that's offering 5 different services, maybe even 2 or 3 different services, to focus just on one. Master your one system. That's all you need. Once you master one system, you're able to replicate after that. I may sound like a hypocrite because I just told you guys a few minutes ago that I have a flooring company and I have a painting company. But why did I build the flooring company? Our systems were, I don't want to say bulletproof because nothing's ever bulletproof, but after a while, I started really finding a replicatable system on project management, on appointment setting, on sales. And it was able to be replicatable into another business, which is still home service. So I ran a flooring company, but it took me a long time to do it. Back then, I was everywhere. I had the wrong mindset. I had no why, and nothing at all was repeatable. Now, I don't know if you guys ever heard this saying, but every master was once a disaster. I don't ever call myself a master. I will never be a master. I'll always be a student to the game. But I was a disaster. And even the most highest masters out there were disasters at one point. And less than 1 year after we got out of commercial painting, we scaled our residential sales from $0 to $150,000 a month. But there were still some key points, of what was holding us back from scaling our sales team to break past this mark. Now, if you got a guy like Joel's guy will sell $3.9 million in a year, and not all of us have that gift that can sell so much in 1 year. But if you're not like Joel, like most of us aren't, you need to build a scale a sales team to be able to break past that point. First piece of this, limiting beliefs and mindset. We're here with the mindset guy himself, Mr. Joel Mercado. So I figured I had to drop some mindset stuff here. It starts and ends with the belief you have in yourself. We're going to go from a little bit of mindset and, of course, talk about scaling the sales team after, because if you don't have the right mindset, nothing you do. Brad just laid out a full sales system for you. Nick Pelly just gave you a whole bunch of actionable items, but none of this matters if you don't have the right mindset. It starts and ends with the belief you have in yourself. If you believe you can or you believe you can't, you're absolutely right. But first thing you need to do, you need to buy into yourself and buy into your company. One of the first things we did that took us to be able to scale so fast and so aggressive and so far was buying into coaching and mentorship. Spent money like you would not believe. My first coaching program, I remember thinking, do I want to spend $3,000 on this? Man, $3,000's a lot. I don't even know if I like this guy. This guy didn't even got a good haircut right now. Should I spend $3,000 on him? No, this is probably one of those internet gurus. And you might be right. Some of them are internet gurus, but it's up to you and it's up to your community. Guys in this group, there's 50 people here. I'm sure you reach out to any one of these people, myself included. We're going to tell you who are the coaches that actually worked for us. Joel Mercado, he's my main coach right now. I'm still working with Joel on a week-to-week basis. We still meet 1 hour every single week. Another piece of buying into yourself is going to be branding. Now you see this big peach guy behind me? Now, you don't have to do this, but it's always nice, right? I was scared to spend $3,000 on a coaching program at first. Spent the money, saw the results. I'm like, you know what? Money's not real. I don't care about money anymore. We spent all this money on this branding package. You don't have to spend money on branding to succeed. But what I will tell you is that it's going to be a long-term play. When people start seeing your trucks and trailers and for us, all of our Priuses going around town, they're going to remember. And whether they convert now or they convert in a month or a year or 5 years from now, you're going to be a staple in the area. If you get a big brand like this, don't go with the little vinyl lettering. Don't go with, half apps and stuff. Spend the money. Money's not real. Look long-term. Think bigger. It's vital to think bigger. I said that earlier. But you don't need it though. Don't let me interrupt anybody here. Some people, if they listen to me too much, you might just start throwing money in the wind. You need to be strategic with what you spend on. If you have the money and if you want to think big enough to go with a big brand like us, I highly recommend it. It worked for us. Then next thing you need to do with buying into yourself is going to be streamlining all of your systems in your business. This goes back to coaching and mentorship, or it just goes back to community. If you're in the right community, right now we're in a free sales seminar. Free. Look what Brad just gave you guys. Brad just gave you a whole blueprint. You don't have to spend money for some of this stuff. Go to podcasts, go to YouTube videos, get in networking groups, painting contractors on Facebook. Shout out Tanner Mullen. We have over 230,000 members there, the largest group on Facebook. People are willing to just give free game all the time. Why are they willing to give free game all the time? Guys like me, I love helping the industry. That's why I'm doing this today. This is why I'm glad Joel invited me to this call today, because I love helping people. Because the first 6 years when I ran my business, I had no idea any of this was even a thing. So reach out to your folks, anybody in your community. They will help you streamline your systems. Maybe you'll need to pay for some stuff. Who cares? Spend the money. Think bigger. Next thing we're going to be talking about is don't be scared to delegate. Delegation is king. You cannot be the bottleneck of your business for very long. I was the bottleneck of my business for way too long. We need to always be recruiting. Give freely. Give out good opportunities to your people. We're running a professional business. Most painters out there are running truck in a truck businesses that don't care about their team members. They don't care about their clients or anybody around them other than cashing a check. If you're on this call today, you're investing into yourself after business hours, assuming that you're going to offer a better opportunity to every one of your clients and to every single one of your team members. So you have to be recruiting so you can pass that good opportunity off to other people. Don't be scared to hire. When you're hiring, hire for character first. You can always train skills later on. It could be sales. It could be painting. It could be appointment setting. It could be project management. Any of those tasks, any roles in your company, you can train people on how to be better. But what you can't train people on how to do is to be a better person. Hire for character first. Now, here's a few mindset quotes that I love to live my life by. Highly recommend you guys take some of these home or write them down. Take a picture. There's no losses in life. There are only lessons. 0 losses. I said this earlier, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're absolutely right. It's all in yourself. Do you believe you can do it or do you believe you can't do it? Now, this is the main topic that I always get pushback on. Money is not real. You need to devalue money. When you do, you will watch your revenue and your company skyrocket. It's funny how that works, right? How am I going to spend money and make more money? Very easy. Coaching, marketing, sales, all of it. It's going to take money. It's going to take time to build this stuff out for the most part. You can go the free routes and it might take a little bit more time. But for me, I'd rather spend money and get it done yesterday. But I'm also a speed to lead guy. You don't have to be as extreme as I am. I'm always speed to lead. Now, another mindset piece of this is you need to get addicted to personal development. Everything you should do, you should always focus on becoming a better person every single day. I don't care what goes on out there. Don't care what goes on. It's all about how can I learn from this and how can I become 1% better than I was yesterday. All right, we'll slow it down a little bit. I just love the mindset, the limiting belief piece, because all of these tactics that Brad gave you, that Nick gave you, all of it doesn't matter if you don't have the right mindset, if you don't know what to do with it. So we'll talk about some aggressive marketing strategies. First, you can run some door-to-door. Some people have gotten some really bad success with Facebook ads, Google ads, SEO. They're like, what do I do next? I don't know who to run my stuff. Well, try door-to-door. Try knocking on doors. Go leave some door hangers. Leave yard signs around town. You need to be aggressive whatever way possible. I also want to push back on the Facebook ads and Google ads SEO, because a lot of people say, hey, I had really bad success. I got scammed by this marketer. Brad just gave you a full system though, a full system. And if you don't have a proper system in place, a lot of times, yeah, your Facebook ads and Google ads are not going to perform. You're just going willy-nilly at every appointment that you have. It's not the agency's fault. It's not the marketers. Anything that happens in your life is your fault. Anything that happens in your business is your fault. So yeah, there are some shady agencies out there, but a lot of these big names that get highly vouched for online, they're usually doing a great job. You need to check yourself in the neck up and make sure that you are actually doing what you need to do in every sales appointment and every appointment setting process. Overall, you need to be anywhere that a potential buyer might be. I don't care where you're at. You can be on Nextdoor. You can be on every Facebook group. Everywhere. Be everywhere. Anywhere a potential buyer might be. This looks really big when you're sharing full screen. Master and market only one service before even thinking about expanding to other services. See it all the time. People offer flooring. People offer painting. They'll install your cabinets. There's a few things that I see behind that. One, they're wondering, why can I not scale past $1 million? Why can't I even get to $500,000? Well, you're marketing, you're selling to 5 different markets, 5 different services. Master the one. Second reason, why do people typically do this? I think sometimes they typically do this because they're unconfident in their sales process or their sales ability to be able to master the market in one market. Master just one area, then get into another one. Like I told you guys, it's the only reason why I started Peach Flooring is because I use the word master lightly because there's never a true mastery to anything, but get as close as you can to mastery. There's no perfection. There's only progress. Progress over perfection. So we'll talk about building your sales team. First, we'll talk about what were my failures during my first attempt at building a sales team. I'm sure you guys want to hear that. We've all had failures in life, right? What did I learn from them? My first one is going to be grabbing a sales rep, barely even interviewed him, thought he sounded like a good fit because he said he sold roofs or he sold windows or he sold painting maybe. Hey, come shadow me on a sales appointment. I had nothing structured, just shadow. And I'm saying this on this sales appointment. I'm saying that on this sales appointment because I'm the owner. It works as the owner. I mean, most of the owners are going to have the highest close rates, but we know what we can and can't say and how we can take different reactions to different things that go on in sales appointments. But it's not a way to truly scale your team or make it replicatable. They are not going to have the EQ that the owner has. They haven't ran hundreds or thousands of house painting appointments like we have. So I'm over here trying to filter people out, hiring and firing reps because nobody was performing the way that I did. Remember, like I said earlier, anything that happens in your business is your fault. So I saw it all as my fault. What did I give this guy to succeed? I had him shadow me on 10 appointments. Did I write anything down? No. Did I have him repeat anything? Did we do some role playing? No. Maybe we did some. But in my opinion, I was like, oh, well, you shadowed me on 5 appointments, 10 appointments. You should be good, right? It's my fault. It was always my fault. So let's stop talking about the failures because it wasn't a failure. It built me to who I am today and made me understand what we have now today and the power of what we have now today. I'm not going to talk too much about customer journey because my man Brad Ellison just laid out an entire blueprint for us, which was killer, by the way. I hope you guys took a lot of notes, took a lot of pictures of his presentation because he just gave you a whole SOP. What our customer journey mostly looks like, it starts with your marketing team, goes down to your appointment setting process, and it is so vital for your appointment setting process to go hand in hand with your sales system. And it's funny how Brad, Nick, and I are all really good buddies. Like we're really, really close buddies. We chat all the time. It's funny how we have like very similar psychology or philosophies with what we do. You know why? Because it works. The appointment setting process speaks to the sales process. We find out if you're speaking to the husband, You find out, try to get both homeowners there. Find out what the wife's name is on the appointment setting process. Why? Because you want to say, hey, Mr. Jim, hey, is Mrs. Lisa here? I have notes here that Mrs. Lisa is also meeting us at this appointment. Is she also available? How much more of a friend do you seem like, or how much more personable do you sound like when you already know the wife's name and you're already calling her out and you're not saying, hey, and your name is? There's a little bit of resistance there, right? So the appointment setting process also speaks to your sales process as well. Should be, in my opinion. Then of course, let's not get ahead of ourselves. The rest of the customer journey, we need to speak on what the full customer journey is. When we're in their sales process, you can't just assume that they know exactly what's going to happen with a painting contractor. We do this every day. So for us, it's common sense that our painters are going to come on time. It's common sense that, we're going to have a free color consultation. It's common sense that a project manager is going to be overseeing their project on a day-to-day basis and giving them daily check-ins at the end of every day. For us, that's common sense. But don't you think it'll be vital information for the homeowner to know? It's not so common sense to them. They've never hired you. They've maybe never even hired a professional painter. Maybe they hired a painter. But remember, I said that keyword, a professional painter. If you're on this call, I'm assuming that you're adding yourself to that list of professional painters out there. So you need to portray what that customer journey is going to be during your sales appointment. Because we at Peach Painting, sorry, Brad, we present in person. All of our appointments are in person. Now, I'm going to say this, guys, it's never about the price. It's never about the price. You need to say it a third time over here. It is never about the price. Why do people happily choose to spend more money with Peach for their project, even though it's never about the price? We sell the experience. We don't sell the product. Nick was in here talking about, you just shotgunning out of the mouth and word vomiting all over them about how great of a job you're going to do and how Emerald is the best paint to use on the outside of your home. And you don't want to use A100 or Super Paint because that's all crap. Sell the experience. What is it like working with your company? Go back to the customer journey. Sell what the full journey is. You need to have a proper sales system in place. For us building scaling a sales team, having a proper sales system in place has been one of the key points for us to successfully build and to continue to build our sales team. With a repeatable sales system, every client will receive the same experience, regardless of who their project consultant is. If you go through a 2-week training process with us without running any appointments, and you follow all of our scripts, all of our role plays, it doesn't matter who from our company is going to meet with you at your home. They're all going to give you the same level of experience. Now, a lot of people might be really scared to give up sales. Why? Because nobody can do it as good as the owner, right? It's funny how things work. Everybody's the best painter out there. If you painted once, if you're running a painting company, you're probably the best painter out there. Come on, don't lie to us. We all know that you think you're the best painter. Then it goes to being the best salesman out there. I'm the best sales guy now too, right? No, you were probably scared. A lot of people are probably scared to give it up because they're the best. But when you have a sales system in place that's written out, that you can train on, everybody maybe they can't be as good as you, but they're all going to be even performing at 70% as good as you. You can scale 3 or 4 people to operate at 70% of your abilities with your sales system that you built out. Come on, that's a huge win. 70% times 3 people, way better than your 100% will ever be. It's all about giving the same experience. You want them to treat every client as you would treat that client. Now, what is having a proper sales system in place? What will it do? It will allow you to hire multiple people at once. We hire in threes. Sounds crazy, right? But we hire 3 sales guys at once every time. Whenever we hire 1, sometimes even 2, it doesn't work out because we're not always going to have a 100% success ratio. Not every sales guy who comes into our system is going to be able to even make it out of our 2-week training, or they're not going to be able to meet our KPIs and stay on our team. Now you might be wondering, how do you keep enough leads to keep 3 sales guys busy at a time? Well, one, we teach heavily on how to self-gen their own leads. It is not only up to the company owner to make the phone ring. Everybody has to be part of our team. You self-gen your own leads, go door to door, post in Facebook groups, go post some yard signs, go to BNI groups, go to Chamber of Commerce, just network in general, go to GCs, go to restoration companies. I don't care, get your own leads. There's plenty of ways to get your own leads for free or for cheap. You need to have a proper tech stack to make it easy to train and track KPIs. Part of our tech stack for training is going to be a software called trainual.com, where we're doing videos, video walkthroughs, black and white SOPs of our full sales system, all of our training, all of our scripts. And I'm talking heavily about scripts. The reason I want to talk about scripts is because it goes back to what we were talking about earlier, that everybody needs to give the same level of experience to each client, no matter who the project consultant is. Nick Kelly was talking earlier about, people are worried about scripts sometimes because you could sound like you're very scripted. You can sound like a robot when you're coming up to it. Well, guess what? We have 2 weeks of training on those scripts, and you've ran through it hundreds or thousands of times. I hope to hell not you're going to sound robotic. If you are, you're not role-playing enough. Role-play more. Record yourself, listen to it while you're reading it, dual input. I don't care. Go to sleep while you're listening to it so you can wake up and hear yourself talking about your scripts. It needs to be replicatable. It needs to be repeatable. These are all things that are going to make your full sales system repeatable. Now, how do I build and implement a repeatable sales system? There's going to be plenty of ways. One, you can hire a coach for it. I hired a coach for it and he's killer. Or two, bro, everything could be free. ChatGPT is free. Type in a whole just word vomit into ChatGPT. It will condense everything for you. Try it out, tweak it, try it out, tweak it, keep going, and build out an SOP. It does not have to be perfect. Then you just start training on it. Get people on board with you and continue to train on it. When you find something that actually works for you, you can build it out yourself or hire a coach, run with it. Why are production rates a must for scaling your sales team? If anybody's ever started bidding a project and they're like, it's going to take me about 2 days. It's going to cost about $1,000 in materials. You find out your day rate, times it by, add in your materials cost, times it by 2, because everybody thinks you need to sell at 50% gross profit. That's not the number, by the way. It should be 60 to 65% gross profit. That's a side topic. But sorry, Brad shaking his head. But why are production rates a must? Because most people, our sales reps, don't even know about painting. When they come to us, they never sold paint before. They don't even know how to paint. So all they need to do is they need to memorize their scripts, learn all of our role plays, learn how to count and measure things, and boom, they know how to work up a proposal and present an accurate written proposal. Remember, we don't do estimates, just like they said. We have accurate written proposals. Who's our ideal candidate for a project consultant? Not a painter. Anybody that came with painting experience is not selling painting projects for us. Not whatsoever. We have car guys. If you guys look at DISC personality styles, DISC, highly recommend it. High I's and high D's. These are our ideal candidates for a project consultant. But I don't even interview somebody that ran their own painting company or somebody that used to be a painter. We don't have much time, so I'm not going to tell you about when you should bring on a sales manager, but it really depends on when you're bottlenecking everything. Now, guys, the way you do one thing is the way you do everything. We have a proper sales system because we give a world-class experience, because everything we do at Peach Painting is world-class. And the way you do one thing in your entire life is the way you do everything. I'm also very extreme. We all knew that I was going to be throwing this slide on here. We all know that I'm 0 or I'm 100 and there's no in between. I don't care what goes on. I'm doing 100 days straight in the gym. I just caught pneumonia. Guess what? I was still in the gym every day. I was doing just calisthenics. I was trying to take it easy, and then I was sweating it out in the sauna. But guess what? I was not letting pneumonia stop me from my 100-day gym track. 0 arm 100, and I'm no in between. You need to be extreme. This is the way that you can scale your team, way you can scale your company, and why you need to think bigger. Go all in, because you can't live an ordinary life and expect extraordinary results. You got to be extreme, guys. What's my why? And I'll end it off at this, guys. What is my why? I highly recommend you to take a minute, maybe take 5 or 10 minutes after this call to sit down and write down what is your why, on why you're even doing this. Why do I need to build scale a sales team? Why? My why, like I was saying earlier, is that we all are able to offer a better opportunity to our marketplace. That's all of our clients. That's all of our team members. And that's just anybody that's around us in our community and our company. I want to give selflessly to everybody around me. Not everybody has the opportunity to work with a company like Peach, like Ellison, like Elite Painting, and a lot of you guys on this call. That is my why, is that I want to give selflessly and give the best opportunity to everyone around me as much as possible. Guys, feel free to contact me on Facebook, Russell Peach, on Instagram, I'm Peach the Painter. But guys, I really appreciate you guys having me here. Hopefully I was able to drop some gems here. And Joel, thanks so much for having me on here.
Woo, my man. Guys, hey, I just want to say, like, oh man, thank you, Peach, bringing it strong.